Take down this question. Sociology emerged in Europe and flourished to begin with on social reformist orientation in USA. Comment. Purely applied. In fact, you can write this answer when this question was asked in the sociology mains. If you are not careful, if you are psychologically stressed, you can't write this question. Because who taught you USA sociology? Like that you will snap it. Oh, tough question. I don't know. Next question. Jump. Okay, answer is there in the question itself. We'll see. I'll not expect you to write this. I'll explain. Then you can write later. पहले तो question ले लो. Sociology emerged in Europe and flourished to begin with on social reformist orientation in USA. As I said in the beginning, question from one chapter will not be limited to that chapter. They will try to ask the things where you have to apply from previous chapters also. When you are starting to read about thinkers, you will come about various American sociologists also. C. Wright Mills, their approach, what is their purpose. There is a separate thing called Chicago School, which evolved in USA. So we'll look at it, but try for 1 minute, try what you can write on this. At least half of the question you are agreeing. Half of the question you will agree and write. Yes or no? Sociology emerged in Europe. That part you are sure. Yes or no? So he has to comment that also. So try to write at least some keywords, 1 or 2 minutes, then we will see. The question talks about, we'll see the question again. Sociology emerged in Europe and flourished to begin with social reformist orientation in USA. Comment. It began in Europe and later transformed with which orientation? Social reformist orientation. So we know that sociology emerged in mid 18th century Europe. Yes or no? Why did it emerge? Why sociology emerged in mid-European history, medieval Europe? Why? Because that we did in the last question itself. Okay, so mid-18th century Europe saw many changes that related to these changes. The impact of these changes was tremendous on society. So Enlightenment thinkers, counter-Enlightenment thinkers, no need to elaborate on this dimension for this question. To study, to create a new science of society, sociology emerged in Europe. Only a very small 3-4 lines you have to write in the beginning as far as emergence of sociology in Europe is concerned for this question. Okay, but the main part of the question began with on social reformist orientation. What is social reformism? To suggest solutions for the existing problems. Okay, USA is a urbanized country, yes or no? Not only now, 100 years, 150 years back, mainly urban, industrialized, urbanism. So the problems in USA, many sociologists were, desperate to address these problems in USA, whether it is racial discrimination, whether it is with respect to labor reforms, whether it is crime in urban areas, problems in urban areas. All these things, they want to reform their own society. In fact, it is also called as urban sociology. We have to take a reference of Chicago School of Sociology here. What is the name? Generally, in academic terms, they give it what? Chicago School, which was primarily a kind of focus on urban sociology, American society, Robert K. Merton, all these J. Adams. These are the names which are generally associated, where they are concerned with to address various problems in American society. They want to suggest what? Reforms. Previously in Europe, the sociology which emerged, it want to study sociology or study society scientifically. They also have a goal to create a better society, but that is not the ultimate goal later. We have to be objective. Yes or no? Sociologist has to be value neutral. or in fact in the beginning value free, no values. A phenomena is there. The question is not about whether diverse is good or diverse is bad. Sociologists will study diverse scientifically. That is the purpose of science. To study it objectively, rationally, without being engulfed with a goal. That is ultimate. Not deciding this should be the society. We have to study the society as it is. That is the initial steps taken by sociologists in the beginning. But when compared to when we are coming to USA, Chicago school, they were obsessed with so many issues in the society. Crime was high, inequality was high, labor relations were tensed, racism, issues of that, gender issues. All these things that became a subject matter. They want to create a better society, a kind of a good society, a progressive society for all. So they are starting to study all these things. That's the reason they are having which orientation? Reformative orientation. With this goal, they studied the American society. That's what the question is asking about. Actually, the answer is giving in the question itself. Why sociology emerged? How sociology emerged in Europe, that you know. It went on to take and flourished. It didn't ask. The question is not asking whether it flourished or not. Statement is also given. It flourished. With which orientation? Social reformist orientation. Achha, they want to do something good for society. They want to study the various problems and give solutions to these problems. Like that, if you are knowing the thing, you will use Chicago school. Otherwise also it's okay, you can rely on it. Now the game starts actually. This is only half of the answer. Don't just explain the question. But having such goal of reformative approach, having a reformative approach, that itself is problematic. Yes or no? Will it lead to a scientific study? No. If you think that capitalism is good, if you are preconceived that capitalism is good, you will not address the problems of working class completely. Yes or no? In the same manner, if you are looking at all the things as problems, you are having a deterministic approach. What we can call it as what? Deterministic. You are not open to social phenomena in its totality. You are concluding it. I have to remove this issue. What can be done? Like that you will study. You are not looking at various other dimensions of all phenomena. You have a goal, remove this, address this problem. With that goal orientation only, you will try to create social structures which are in alignment with your view. So having such view itself is problematic. That is not a complete objective study. You should be value neutral. You should not have preconceived notions of society, how society should be. When you can study society in that neutral manner, only then the actual subject develops. Okay, like that you can conclude in the end. So giving a criticism to Chicago school or the approach followed in USA itself enriched sociology. That is a speciality. Emergence of sociology, reformative orientation of sociology, criticizing that reformative orientation itself enriches the subject. Yes or no? Like that you can conclude. Okay, so if you write the keywords, write some keywords for this answer.